everybody. So anyone who follows my channel knows I am not a fan of Adam Sandler. I was up late, I couldn't sleep. I saw that there was a new comedy available on Netflix that was a spoof of the West, and we all might remember that Seth MacFarlane tried to do that in A Million Ways to Die in the West. I did not see that film, but I heard it was terrible. But I can't believe that it was as bad as this film is, called The Ridiculous Six, with Adam Sandler. And he must be the nicest guy in the world, because he got some really talented people to be in this complete mess of a movie. People that he got to be in this movie. You've got Adam Sandler, Will Forte, Taylor Lautner, Steve Buscemi, Danny Trejo, Terry Crews, Luke Wilson, Nick Nolte, Rob Schneider, Harvey Keitel, and Jorge Garcia. Those are some really talented people. Like Harvey Keitel has been in some really good movies. Like Luke Wilson has been good in the past. There's some people that have been funny and that can be very funny, that can give good performances. But man, this movie sucks. I hated it so much. It was so disgusting and it was so unfunny. Like Blazing Saddles is a billion times funnier, even though I'm not that big a fan of it. It's way funnier than anything you get in this movie. And basically, this movie's excuse for funny is to be really insulting, use lazy characters and lazy stereotypes as a joke. But that's not funny in and of itself. That's just offensive. It's funny if then you go and do something with that stereotype that then makes it funny. It's not funny to just have the stereotype existing. Like the Rob Schneider character, for instance, is like a stereotype Mexican, but in the Three Amigos, you had the sort of stereotype Mexicans, but they did funny stuff with those characters, and so then it became funny. But it's just him being a stereotypical Mexican, and we're supposed to think that's funny. The word is that I guess a bunch of the Native American performers walked off of the set, including the Native American advisor, because they were so offended. And I totally get it, because it's really bad. I mean, the idea of a funny joke in this film is to have one of the Native American women called Never Wear a Bra. That's her Indian name. That's so hilarious. And basically, Adam Sandler in this movie plays this guy who is about to marry this Indian woman, and guess what her name is? Smoking Fox. Isn't that funny? That's so funny. Oh, it's not funny. And so he ends up meeting Nick Nolte, who claims that he is Sandler's father, because Adam Sandler's mother was shot by this man, and so he was raised by the Indians, and or the Injuns, as they're called in this film. He didn't know his father, and his mother died. Basically, his father is a thief, and these other thieves kind of kidnap him, and they insist that they give him the money that he had scored in the theft, and so the rest of the movie is basically Sandler going around trying to get money so that he can pay off guys who kidnapped his dad. He meets this crew that all happen to actually be children from the Nick Nolte character, so they're half brothers. He meets Taylor Lautner, who basically the big joke of his character is that he is mentally, that he is a special needs, that he is slow, and isn't that hilarious? And then you have Terry Crews, who the big joke is that he's black and that the other are white. And there's even a whole scene with that he explains to them that he's only half black. And so he didn't want, just in advance, so they wouldn't make any racially insensitive comments. And that's supposed to be a joke. And then the Rob Schneider character, who's the stereotypical Mexican, he is also a brother. And Jorge Garcia is a brother, but he's a mute, and he can't talk, kind of grunts. And that's supposed to be funny, I guess. And he has rashes a lot. There's a long scene where they pull Taylor Lautner's tooth, and it's a giant tooth, and that's supposed to be funny. There's Luke Wilson plays another brother, and I can't even, I lost track. It's just, oh. And then there's this whole other side plot about this gang. Steve Zahn plays this guy named Clem, who is already somebody with a bad left eye, but there's this group called the Eye Patch Gang, and they've all taken out their eyes so that then they could have a patch. Not that you have to have no eye in order to wear a patch, but whatever. And then they carried around in a jar their eyes. And even though he already has one deficient eye, there's like a whole scene where he pokes his other eye out because it's got to be the same eye as the other people. And oh my gosh, it's so bad. You get Mark Twain appearing. You think that could be pretty good. Guess who's playing Mark Twain? Vanilla Ice is playing Mark Twain. I'm kid you not. And he's actually one of the better performers in the film, if that tells you something. You see David Spade appears briefly. This long sequence where Harvey Keitel is running this bar called the Golden Nugget, and the whole team tries to steal the giant golden nugget that is so obviously plastic. I mean, they did not even try at all. And it's just not funny at all. And it's really offensive, and it's really stupid, and it's really gross. And I just can't believe that anyone in Netflix thought that this was worth funding and worth financing and worth putting any effort into. Had such a hit streak with so many great things, and this is just embarrassing. It is awful. Don't see it. It'll definitely be my worst of the year. It's even worse than Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, which was my previous worst of the year. This is even worse because I didn't, at least Paul Blart Mall Cop had some likable characters, and I felt like people were trying, but it's just still a terrible movie. But this is just offensive. I wasn't offended by Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. So this is just awful. So, if you're wondering, this is why I wanted to do this video. If you're wondering, should I see it? Should I not see it? Don't see it. It's really bad. So there you go.